Hey, so I think I made a stupid comment here on YouTube about inferior genome this or something like that. I'm pissed off that I've been rendered for 15 years as a TI. I get tortured every day. And there's probably no such thing, really, no such thing as an inferior human genome, but there are like characteristics associated with heavenly virtue that you can, breed towards, and then characteristics associated with like sin, and then the Ten Commandments out there. But I'm the one getting exterminated, and I top out in about 4 or 5 things and 1% globally. But we're all, I gravitate more towards Buddhism. It helps you endure torture and teaches you not to rely on any external force. But in Buddhism, your best shot at non-reincarnation is human form. So in that way, we all have an equality that's really important to keep in mind. But I've had such rendered perspectives, like the pain and the torture for 15 years has gotten me, and satanic repeaters and suggesters have brainwashed me and gotten me to say and think about things that I normally never would. So you'll have to excuse me for my torturer's persistence. But yeah, I mean, we're all given our best shot at non-reincarnation and human form. I think it would be nice if the atheists or the agnostics were right, and when we died, and that was it, but somehow I don't really believe that's the case. It would be nice, and I really don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want the world to end. Even being a pretty smart human being with mind control and people reading your thoughts, a lot of that stuff's neutralized. It does, in some ways, I feel like, at least today, it doesn't matter if you're really, really smart as a TI. If they're using mind control against you, they're still using mind control against you. So anyway, sorry for some of the rendered statements I've made. I'm still getting perped. 2019's been better overall since the previous 3 years of psychological operations. I've avoided homelessness, which is nice. But yeah, don't believe the community slander about me, and I'll try and keep my own foot out of my mouth with the torture they do to me during my waking hours, and be happy for simple things: reading, writing, music. I've connected with a fair amount of other targeted individuals. Sorry if any of the, like for the videos on this YouTube channel where the audio wasn't great. I have a lot to do, or to get better at, in terms of video production quality. I've been lied to and coerced and believed things that weren't true at the time that I found out later were really untrue. Like, for a while, this group of gang stalkers that attacked me had me convinced my parents were killed and replaced with reptilian alien. They were electromagnetic form perpetrating gang stalking inside my home, is what that boiled down to, and my parents are fine. What else is some of the stuff they've had me tricked into? My eyes definitely have deceived me. Electromagnetic form perpetrating is a powerful tool, and I have to recognize, in psychological operations, like, people can get killed and do die, and the torture, in some ways is worse than death. There's too many TI in the US and the world, and I encourage people that are targeted individuals also to look at Dr. Horton, stop007.org, David Icke, Philip Walker, Kevin Christian. I just friended Timothy Trespass on Facebook. He was the TI featured in a story that I think broke some of the issue for the general public, like in a publication as prestigious as I think it was like the New York Times. Myself, I've had some drastically unreliable information. Like I've basically been honest to liars and about lies. Like at some point they tried to convince me I had a whole world to free you to under unrealistic conditions and stuff like that. Wes Penray corroborates the black Swiss cheese whole exits. If and when there is an afterlife, study the Tibetan Book of the Dead for moments of death considerations. And I'll try and keep you up on what I learned and my deprogramming efforts, trying to stay out of trouble, mitigate my torture, and live. And I'm connecting on personal levels with some other TI. I can't, take on 500 other TI individually, but I've met, 3 or 4 or 5 that it's fun to send messages to and from, and keep up with what's going on with them, and then sharing what I learned and vice versa and stuff like that. So my number one priority is TIs. And I get rendered or tortured into saying stuff that I normally never would say, don't really believe. They make me think about stuff that I normally wouldn't say or believe. And I am, besides, normally the normal putting your foot in your mouth as a human, I have to, endure that as well, plus the community slander. So the kill the messenger, Zugstreak police state, same plot to enslave every man, woman, and child, repeated broken record in history of countries falling apart when they cannibalize themselves with like community spying groups and stuff, and other things that are going on that are much bigger than me. But it's both mental illness. I'm ill. Like it wasn't that long ago I was hoping the whole world would get destroyed. That's pretty, ill, I feel like, at least today. And the torture sets me up for anger or otherwise confrontations with, if you're an electromagnetic form gang stalker and somebody pops a cap in your ass, you feel the pain of death, but you don't really die. Your body's in another location, as Kevin Christians describes, the Howard Circle situation in his life. But that may have happened along the way in my last 15 years, is that like perpetrators that come and hang out in my home space secretly, that every once in a while, and it's like an arms race, I don't totally understand it, but every once in a while they may get like killed in their electromagnetic form and forced to, wake up in their body wherever it is. But I endure day in, day out satanic repeaters and suggesters, but in combination of my perp's behavior and my own will as a man and somebody enduring mind control, 2019 has been better for me. The previous 3 years, I almost died a couple times, or at least once. Like I was homeless. So I'm meeting a lot of more basic needs, and a combination of their behavior and my sheer will and determination, I'm doing better. And I wish all the targeted individuals moments of quiet, peace, mitigation of their torture, safety. But I want like results for you. I don't want to just, talk about flowery language or the word pray when real things could be done for real people to stop this, or mitigate, help preserve the quality of your lives. So I've given out some ideas about lead clothing, authenticators on your phone for your passwords, and I can't think of any other good advice that I've given out. Faraday cage grounding of stuff. And then I'm considering finding the headgear that perpetrators use so I can sync my body and then move my location of my consciousness someplace else. Stuff that I am ill prepared to deal with, is Kevin Christian's reporting on how they break into like your Wi-Fi, not just your cell phone or your computer, and the cable itself, like in other locations around the country. It's Satanic Project Mockingbird, but in fucking Idaho, in Oregon City, Oregon, in Portland, Oregon, at Portland State, like every fucking place that I see that. I mean, like when I'm walking by a television at a mall, that fucking television right there will start talking directly to this targeted individual because I'm lit up on the beast system. It's not been good attention. Understatement. It's been like an attempt at a Zoog streak and shit. Plus, like, I'm broadcasted. Like, people really are sitting out on catatonic on these machines, these R&M machines, and my life experience is being beamed into them. Is some of the stuff that Kevin Christian's uncovered. I was talking to him before I did an interview with him on his YouTube channel, and we both were getting broadcasted so hardcore. Like when I would touch metal objects and shit here in the nut house, an arc of electromagnetic electricity would jump off my finger when I got close to metal. We were lit up that hot. Like at the same time. He does videos every day. I'm so proud of him in good ways. He's giving out good information. And it's a battle every day. It's a battle every day. Lake of fire, a body of mind is another way to look at this. But they use Christianity. They worked it out almost like an algorithm used for torture and persecution of Christians. Like they have spread few-word nonsense through these psychological operations in communities even about my obtuse few-word use neighbor. Like my neighbor is like electromagnetic perps that are broadcasting in and out of my skull, and their bodies are in other locations. Like it's not clear what they're trying to say. My neighbor essentially is the entire manifestation of like all electromagnetic form gang stalking worldwide and shit like that. It's not like a guy I'm asking for a plate of cheese from. No, my neighbor is Satanism, the beast system. It's not peaches and cream. It's crimes against creation. Hope you guys have a good day.